The other day, I had someone ask me a question that I thought, okay, I need to get down to a little bit more of a granular level. And they said to me, kind of jokingly, hey, Samuel, you always talk about how we need to empower ourselves, whether it be betrayed or whether it be unfaithful. I mean, what do you mean? Like, how do you practically empower yourself when you're in the midst of the greatest devastation that you maybe have ever felt in your life? And it's a fair question. So today I want to give you some good tips on how to practically empower yourself and care for yourself even though you're in the middle of absolute trauma. Now, I'm going to give you one of the toughest ones first, and I want you to take a deep breath because I'm going to give this to you not in an effort to offend you or to upset you, but to tell you it's one of the biggest breakthroughs that I had in my life as an unfaithful. And I can tell you tons of other unfaithful spouses have expressed the same sense of freedom when they did this. And the betrayeds, who are going to be less likely maybe to grab hold of this and shout, hurrah, but yet it's probably one of the principal pieces that will set you free as well. And that is when you, whether you're an unfaithful or whether you're a betrayed, refuse to remain a victim of either what your spouse has done to you or what you have done to yourself. It's when you refuse to be a martyr either for what your spouse has done to you or for what you've done to yourself, and you decide that you're no longer going to allow yourself to be imprisoned by your own belief system. Now, I'll take it from the unfaithful's perspective first. One of the biggest moments came when I said, you know what, yes, I've done this, and yes, I've blown my life apart, and I owned everything. I just itemized it out. It took a long time. Here's all the things that I've done. I've wounded my spouse. I've put my family in jeopardy. I've completely abandoned and incredibly let down thousands of people. I have done all these things. But if I continue to live as a victim to what I've done to myself, a victim of my own self-loathing, my own self-hatred, my own condemnation, my own childhood trauma, if I continue to remain a victim to these things, I'm never going to be able to get to the other side. I'm never going to be able to find personal restoration and maybe even marital restoration. If I continue to replay the script in my mind 1,000 times a day, I'll never be able to move forward to the new chapters that are available for me because I'm replaying the trauma and the self-hatred that in many ways seem justifiable, right? It seems like a friendly voice. It seems like it's a comforting voice. It seems like it's a soothing lullaby. You're a wicked person. Look at what you've done. You'll never be able to set yourself free. Everyone's going to hate you. You'll always be scarred. You've created so much trauma. You'll never get free of it. I just want to tell you that's a lie. That's not a lullaby. That is a song of death. It is a song that's going to falsely comfort you while the rest of your family, possibly your spouse, and the rest of your calling in life, whether you come from faith or not, is going to slip by while you continue to bathe in self-loathing and self-rejection. Now, if you're betrayed, please understand, I want to be as delicate as I can. I live with the former betrayed. I run most of all my stuff by her. One of the most substantial victories in Samantha's life was when she said, you know what, I'm no longer going to live as a martyr. I'm not going to put myself up on the cross. I'm not going to live in this marriage and continually throw it in your face. You're either going to choose, Samuel, to get better, to get healthy, and give me a chance to reevaluate our marriage, or you're going to continue to put nails in the coffin by the way that you treat me, your refusal to get help, your defensiveness, your justification. If you're going to continue to live that way, we're probably done. But she said, I've got a life to live, and I've got to care for 3 small kids, and I still have purpose, and I still have value, and I'm not going to just remain a victim, even though I could, and I could throw this at you the rest of our life in marriage. I'm not going to do that. And I will tell you, side note, if you're an unfaithful spouse, let me just tell you, okay? It's been 13 some odd years, been married 23 some odd years. I haven't had enough coffee this morning to remember exact years, so just stay with me. Samantha has thrown my infidelity in my face maybe 3 times in 13 years. It's the honest to God truth. Every time it hurt, absolutely. But there's only been about 3 times. So don't believe the lie, unfaithful, that says to you, you'll never get over this, you'll never get through this, and you're going to have to live as a doormat the rest of your life. It's absolutely not true. So I warned you I was going to give you the tough part first. Now let me give you some really uber practical things to consider. Number one, I just want to appeal to you to re-examine the medicinal route. If you are opposed to synthetics and antidepressants and things like that, you may give some thought to some homeopathic remedies. But I just want to tell you, I want to just plead with you to simply reevaluate the fact that maybe you need to consider getting on some meds to help take the edge off and to help balance you out. Samantha has done it from time to time. I certainly did it early on because I was suicidal, and it really just took the edge off. But to really empower yourself and to help you see a little bit more clearly, you may really consider some practical meds to help you. Another suggestion that while very practical, it's a little bit more wide-angle lens, which is this crisis is going to reintroduce you to what you believe, or it's going to cause you to reevaluate what you believe. I'm not asking you to go back on your faith or to step away from your faith if you come from faith, and I'm not trying to convert you if you don't come from faith. But I am going to tell you that this level of trauma is going to cause you to reevaluate what you believe and why you believe it and what you exactly hold true to, because crisis will reveal the strength or the weakness of your belief system. Another practical thing that you can do to empower yourself is begin a journey of radical acceptance. At our EMS weekend, within maybe the first couple of sessions, one of the things that Rick says is, if you can't accept where you're at, you're never going to get to where you want to get. And the journey of healing starts with radical acceptance. Accepting what you've done if you're an unfaithful, accepting the damage that you've incurred, embracing it, owning what you have brought into your life. If you're a betrayed, and I know I always get hate mail when I say this, but I'm never going to stop saying it, but I'll continue to find more delicate ways to say it, but you have to accept where you're at. You have to begin to slowly but graciously accept that your spouse has cheated, maybe once, maybe several times. You're going to have to accept the pain that is in your life. You're going to have to accept the marriage or the relationship that you have right now, but that doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. But if you can't accept it, you can't own it, and if you can't own it, you can't confront it, and if you can't confront it, you really can't heal from it. And if you can't heal from it, you're going to continue to relive it every day, every year. Another thing that you can do is confront yourself. Now, one of the things that I had to do early on, and I've had to live this way, just in terms of life, is that I have to have become very good at confronting myself. And so oftentimes I'll write a list down of the things that I struggle with. Control tendencies and this and that, and I'll itemize it. I would really challenge you as an unfaithful to confront yourself on things that you've done, belief systems, breakdowns in your character and integrity. Really confront the things that you are doing or have done that you know are violations to your own moral code, to your spouse's moral code, to the moral code in which you live by, whatever it is. If you're a betrayed, I really want to ask you to confront yourself. I'm not saying that your spouse's or partner's affair was your fault, not at all. Confronting yourself is not about finding who's the bad guy in terms of infidelity. Confronting yourself is about personal growth. It's about empowering yourself in your relationship, but also just in life. It's about helping you get you healthy so that you can go to the next level in your own recovery, regardless of what happens in your relationship. I have really come to the understanding that what I allow, I encourage in my own life, in my kids' lives, in Samantha's life. And so What do you need to stop allowing in your own life? What do you need to confront? So maybe today, decide you're going to confront one thing in your own life and heart. Write it down. Share it with someone who's safe. Don't share it with anybody. Share it with the Lord if you're a Christian. But confront something in your heart today that you know is wrong, not because you're shaming yourself or rejecting yourself, but because you want to heal.